This is a watercolour of Loch Lomond in Scotland. I'm using 15 by 11 watercolour paper, which I've wet all over with clean water. I'm using a large Ron Ranson hake brush, and I've got my usual palette of Raw Sienna, burnt umber, light red, ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey and Alizarin crimson. So with the large hake, I've just put on a background of Raw Sienna, and I want to have like a sunset effect running down the middle of the paper, so I've mixed some light red and lemon yellow to create that sort of orangey glowy colour down the middle. Just sweeping in a bit of blue now, where you can see the sky between the clouds, and bringing all that right down into the to the bottom of the paper where the water will be. I like to do it now, so you sort of automatically get the reflections of the what's in the sky into the water, rather than having to do it later on in the painting. You might as well do it straight away while you've got the colour on your brush. So that's the ultramarine in. I'm just going to stick a few clouds. This is a mixture of Payne's grey and Alizarin crimson. Just bashing a few clouds in with the brush. A few in the foreground water as well. I'm just trying to reflect what I can see in the sky area. If you imagine the bottom third of that paper will be the water. So I'm going to start on the distant hills. So the furthest one in, I've put in exactly the same colour as the cloud. And then I'm going to put some ones that are slightly closer, slightly stronger in colour. There's a lot of light red. It's various mixes of the colours I've already used, but we've plenty of. I've put lots of light red into that. And I'm just trying to make sure it's parallel with the bottom of the paper, because it just looks silly if it's slanting, distant far banks of the loch. They need to be straight. It's just a bit of Payne's grey on the brush, just trying to change the colour slightly, trying to keep it interesting. Paper's stretched after I've wet it all over, so I'm just pulling it tight now and refixing it on the right hand side with the bulldog clips. You can pre-stretch your paper. Personally, I don't bother. You I used to have trouble because it's fairly light paper. It's only £130, and I did have trouble when you'd just wet the sky area first, and then do the sky, and then wet the water area afterwards. The trouble is, because the bottom of it's dry and the top of it's wet, it cockles and it looks horrible. If you look at some of the earlier videos I've done, you can see, and it does look pretty bad. You see, that's why when I wet it all over when I start with it, it just keeps the whole paper fairly flat. So I'm just bashing in the foreground tree here. Just plenty of lemon yellow and Payne's grey. Big scrape up with the nail to do the trunk, and then just using the little thing to do the smaller branches coming off here and there, and the twigs and whatever. A few more flicks. Probably overdone it, but never mind. It's so easy once you get into it. It's hard to stop. In fact, I've quite badly overdone it there, but we'll carry on. Just taking the number 3 rigger, flicking in a few twigs that are sticking out from the main tree. They always look more effective if you put it over the lighter areas. You see those top ones, I put in the light area of the sky. You're always looking for a counter change, light against dark, maximum contrast. I guarantee your paintings will look better. Now I'm going to put some rocks in the foreground. So I'm just going to block in some dark colour on the left and right hand foreground sides. Dark mixes, Ultramarine and burnt umber are about as dark as I ever get. But I mean, for this sort of thing, you could first put on some light. I suppose if you're going to do it properly, you should put on some light colour, say like Raw Sienna, then a medium, and then a dark, and then unfortunately my arm's in the way now, so you're not going to see much. Take the plastic card, and then I'm just scraping the rocks out. But this will be a good test. If you use too much water, you'll have to wait for it to dry a bit. Apologies for my arm in the way. So you can see I've just gone to town with the credit card there and just scraped out a few rocks. Back to the hake brush, and again these are just bits of mud and what have you, just offshore. Just a few dibs and dabs with a straight edged brush there, so it looks a bit bare in the foreground water. Again, I'm just going into the dark, sort of shadowy parts of the rocks and just flicking up a few grasses that are growing in between the stones. I'm switching to the 3/4 inch flat, and I'm just going to stick a little boat in. Just a simple little boat. And I'm just this is just the reflection in the water now, just a few dabs. Switching to the number 3 rigger. Getting into the dark colour. And that's just a little, just flicking in a rope. That's where it's moored to a little post in the water. Put the reflection in. I'm just going to stick just a little man. That's the bit that the rope's tied, so I'm just going to stick a little man sat in the back of the boat. Just adds a little bit of character to the thing. Again, just a little dot for the head. And then some broad shoulders. And I think we'll call it a day at that. Thanks for watching, and that's Loch Lomond in Scotland.